Hi everyone. Today I want to discuss with you on how you can create or write a Pascal Triangle program so that you can get this kind of output. Let's get started. What's a Pascal Triangle? Pascal Triangle is something like it starts with 1. One will be starting and ending in each line. You can see here the first line and second lines have nothing but 1, but if you see the third line, the after 1, what you'll see is the sum of the top two variables will be put in the middle. That will be like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and the same fashion follows. Each line starts with 1 and the next two elements sum would be put in the middle. Uh, After 1 and 2 is 3, 2 and 1 is again 3, so 3 will be put here and then 1. So this way 1 and 3 is 4, 3 and 3 is 6, 3 and 1 is again 4, and it ends with 1. So this is nothing but a Pascal triangle. Now we'll see how you can write a Java program on this. So I have already written a Java program on this. So let's write one more from scratch. It will be something like, so I always have a habit of writing a new method for each. We'll take in the size, like in size, what will be the size of the Pascal triangle. Let's say it will be 3 for time being, and uh, construct Pascal triangle will be doing the job for us. So now let's create a method. So it does not, it returns nothing, so it prints void. So our intention is to print something like this. Let's see how like a human being will analyze this problem. So what we are doing is we are writing the first two lines without any rules, like starting with 1, starting with 2 ones, but from here we'll try to remember the above sequence, like 1 plus 1 will be 2, and 1 plus 2 will be 3, and 1 plus 3 will be 4, 3 plus 3 will be 6. So what we internally need is we have to remember the sequence of previous line to construct the next line. So you might have got an idea of the basic approach is we have to know the previous sequence on how the previous sequence is to construct the next line of Pascal triangle following its rules. So that will be, you have to somehow store the previous line in some data structure of Java. So as we are doing it in Java, some data structure you have to store the previous sequence, and if you are able to store the previous sequence, then based on the previous sequence you can generate the current line sequence, and then this sequence is used to construct the next sequence. So once you write a program to remember the current sequence to construct the next sequence, then repeating this procedure for the next lines would solve the problem. So let me show that to you. So now we have to match the size. So taking from here, so we'll 2 is starting from here, so this will be 3, this will be 4. So let's take it as level 0. Name this as level 0, level 0. Then level 1, followed by level 2, followed by level 3. This goes on. So if we give the input size as 3, then our output should comprise of something like this. Okay, so let's start writing. Now let's write a for loop to print the first two dummy lines. Okay, so not just first two, the first two will be constant. So I'll be starting an I. You can name it anyway, as I'm just trying to brief you. I'll just start from I, and as we are starting from level 0, I'm starting I from 0, and I will be plus. This will be an incremental loop, not a decremental loop. So I is doing plus plus. So if I double equal to 0, then what I need to do is print I. Okay, else if this will be for the second one, these two are blunt, we don't have to write any logic for these two. So I, and remember that I'm removing ln because we have to print ln new line after printing each and every line. So the ln will be end of the for loop. So just mark end of for loop to know this, because we are gonna get a lot of braces. So now the new line will be printed, prints new line. Then so we have our basic condition, the else condition is our key part. So here we have to print I twice. Okay, now we'll have one more for loop inside to perform this logic. Got it? So now the storing of arrays should start from this thing. So let us put what happens if we don't store. I'll just show you. Now int, let me I need this value, so I'll define something called int j is equal to 0 here. So for j is equal to 0, j less than or equal to I, because it has to iterate I times. So when because I is nothing but it will loop this many number of times. When I is equal to 2, it has to loop this many number of times. So I less than or equal to j less than or equal to I, and then j plus plus. Okay, so now we have our basic thing. This works for size 2 well. So size 1, not 2. So I'll just print it. Let's see what happens. So it's saying 0. Okay, so for this we have to print 1. Okay, or let's say I plus 1, doesn't matter. 1 1 1, so that matches our 1 1 1. Okay, so this goes fine. Then what next is we have to have an array. Let's say the array is new of int size is size into 2, just to make sure that because a level 2 will store 3, so and level 3 will store 6 and level 4 will store 8. No scenario will be running out of space, just to safeguard that. So size into 2 will keep us safe. And while beginning I told you we need a temporary array. Temporary array means we have to remember this sequence and generate this sequence. So both have to be remembered for at the same time for some movement. So we'll need two arrays. One is the main array and one is the temporary array. So I'll create two arrays equal to new similar size. Now done. So we have two arrays. Now I'll just replace this. So the array of 0, this is our main array. Main array, main array, it will be easy to remember. Main array and temp array, good names. So main arrays 0 will always be 1. So the array should be remembered starting this one. Okay, so here the temp array will be, temp array of 0 will be 1. Then temp array of 1 will be 1. So what will be printed? We'll be printing this value 1. Now temp array of 0 and temp array of 1 are getting printed, and here what we'll be doing is we will replace this existing array just for safeguarding, because we'll empty this main array and main array will be putting temp array, and then temp array will be emptied. Let's do it this way. So now we are emptying temp array, but we'll make sure always that the main array of 0 will always be 1, just to make sure. So now, so this way, here however we are printing this thing, so no worries, we'll start from here only. Why do we wait? So temp array of 0. Now this is done. Now let me print what will happen. 1 1 1 is coming. Know that I'm writing the Pascal triangle. Pascal triangle program. Okay. So now we are done with half job. Now what we have to do is, we have all the logic of saving the previous thing. Now we have to we have to sum the previous sequence and store it in a temp array. How will we do that? So now the temp array of 0, the temp array of 0 is equal to j main array, because j plus 1 and main array of j plus main array of j plus 1. Just to make sure, I'll just put it here. Yes. So now if you see, our temp array has 1 to 1 as the our main array has 1 to 1 in it. So now the temp array will be printing temp array this will be done, temp array of 0 equal to 1, or let's say main array of 0. So temp array of 0 will be printed, and the temp array of j plus 1 will be next value of 1, and it will be the sum of previous main arrays 1 and 2. So that will be j and j plus 1. Got it? And now we'll be printing this. So temp array of j plus 1. Okay, now we are done. Now we'll be printing main. So there's one condition here. we are giving extra size here. So there'll be one problem because of that. I'll just show you that and then I'll print this. Now this will be temp array of j plus 2. That will be empty. So now we'll give main array of j plus 2. J plus 1. Okay, now I'll print this. There'll be an exception. Oh sorry, we didn't change the size. Let's change the size to 2. First 3. 3 is better. We'll know more scenarios. Okay. Yeah, it's working. So we don't need the zeros here. So whenever the next element is 0, we can skip it. So if temp of j is double equal to 0, then break. Because why this scenario is occurring is, oh sorry, temporary. Oh, main array, not temporary. Whenever main array of j is double equal to 0, because we are giving extra size here. Array never keeps an empty value in that, so it will be occupied by zeros. So now we will not get zeros anymore. This will be okay. So this will be j plus plus, right? So we have to give plus 1. Whenever the next is 0, we shouldn't print it. So that's why. So now it will be something like this. Sorry, it's not main array, it's temp array. Something fishy. Main arrays j is equal to 0 means, let's debug and see what's wrong in that. 1 to 1, we'll understand where we are going wrong. Getting an extra 0, we wish to avoid that. So now if we see, we are getting temp array is 1 0 0, now it is 1 2 and it's printing 1 2. Now we have to print 1, so it has to come out. Now if you see main array of j, what is j now? J is 1. So we have to say main array of j plus 1 is equal to 0. So say 1. Now if you see, press F8 directly to come there, and now 1 2 is printed. Then main array of what is j1. Now it will break. Okay, got it. So this will be temp array. Okay, let's so to fix this we can do a simple thing. We can always print temp array of 0 here, so that we are not bothered about the first and last thing. Okay, now we'll just go, I'll just F8. I'll stop it and run it from the beginning. You see, yeah, oh, there's something fishy, something fishy. So, now I think it will work. No, we are doing wrong somewhere. Temporary of 0. Let's check again. Making wrong mistake somewhere. Now it will be main array of 2. 2 is getting printed. One is getting printed. So now the main array will be, the main array has to be 1 to 1. Okay, got it. Now we are not assigning the last variable to main array. That is the problem. It has to be 1 to 1. Just 1 2 is getting stored. So now what we'll do is we'll say temp array of j plus 1 will be temp array of 0. Okay, now we have to come here, f8, f6. Okay, we are in the middle of process, so that's why it's breaking. Let me come, okay, 1 8 1 1 8. Now if you see, now I'll come here. You see temp array is 1 2. If you see temp array is 1 to 1. Okay, that was the problem. Now if we see, we have 1 to 1 and 1 3. 1 3 is again printed, and 1 3 1. Now if you see, the main array is 1 3 3 1. So now if we give 4, next will be getting printed. So this works fine. Let's test it with size 4. Don't worry that I'm confusing you. I'll just give you a brief once again. Now let's see, 1 4 6 4 1. So 1 3 4 3 3 6 3 1 4 and 1 again. Let's try with 6 now. Then 1 5 10 1 5 10 5 1 1 5 10 5 1 1 5 10 10 5 1 1 6 15 20 15 6 1. So this works fine here. So now we'll try to formatting is simple. The previous program does that, and it's pretty simple. I'll just give you the program link along with formatting in the link video description. Just check it out. To give you a final brief of the program, let me walk you through. So what we are doing is, to store the previous sequence, we are having two arrays, main array and temp array. So temp array for the first two lines, for printing sequence 1, and for printing 1 1, we are using this, and followed by all other sequences. What we are doing is, we are storing the main array of previous sequence. Previous sequence will be available in the main array. Storing previous sequence, for storing current sequence. Okay, so for this for previous sequence value, we are putting in current sequence, because the first value will be same in the previous sequence and current sequence. Now the iteration, like what we are doing is, the main sequence, that is the previous main array, that is the previous sequence, we are summing the first and second values, j of main array of 0 plus main array of 1. That will be for line 1 to 1, it will be 1 plus 2. So this will be storing 3, and it will be printing 3, and again it will be main array of 1 plus main array of 2. So this will be 3 plus 3. Sorry, that will be 2 plus 1, again 3. So this way the values are getting stored, and we are constructing the Pascal triangle. I'll enclose the program link in the description through GitHub. If you have any queries, then write to me through comments. I'll try to help you in understanding it more. I don't say this is the most effective way, but this is one of the way you can construct a Pascal triangle. Hope you like the way we have solved the Pascal triangle program. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.